Good afternoon, Hope. Welcome to Hope Speaks. My name is Dr. Joey Kramer, and I am here to bring you relevant content with regards to your health and well-being on a weekly basis. Look forward to these conversations that we're going to have together, and many times we might actually invite somebody in on our show to talk more about the areas of expertise that they're focused on. Keeping that in mind, if there is any content that you would love to see generated from us here at Hope Chiropractic Center, please reach out, leave us a comment, send us an email, just give us a shout and say, hey, you can follow us on Facebook and say, hey, Dr. Kramer, I would love for you to cover this topic. I've been having a ton of questions about this with my own life. And we will be sure to get it in the run of the upcoming episodes that we have coming out. Today, I want to jump into a topic that's been striking me lately in a lot of the posts that I see around the social media realm. And these posts are around the dreaded topic of back pain. And of course, I'm going to laugh to myself and say, man, I'm a chiropractor. Of course, we're going to talk about back pain. But I think I want to talk about it from an area that many times we don't think about. And it's super important for us to analyze this. You see, in college, I'm a big man. Sometimes you can look on camera and you see people and you're like, man, that guy's got to be like 6 feet tall. Well, I am. I'm 6'4", and so I had a pretty amazing career of being able to throw implements. There's another story behind this, why I didn't go into contact sports. However, I was trained early on by my high school coach to be a discus thrower. Never really figured out shot put. I always had like this big bench press, but I could never actually figure out how to use my legs, which was a whole other story in itself. So, going into college, my junior year, I had put on a ton of weight, had learned a lot about my body with regards to throwing, had gotten the strongest I've ever been, and I had a very, very bad back injury. I'm talking like I can't feel my legs bad. I remember TCU put us into physical therapy. They gave us some naproxen, and nothing really got better. I ended up going to a chiropractor. The guy adjusted me 3 ways till Sunday, and I got better in about 3 weeks. It was pretty amazing what happened with that. However, I would have what we now refer to as chronic back pain, because I would have it continuously every 6 months for pretty much from about 2006 till 2012. Yeah, right around there. 2010 actually is what I'll say, so about 4.5 years. And there's two rational reasons I have to go into this, because we have to differentiate ourselves here. Acute back pain would be like, hey, I just picked up the Christmas tree and I wasn't ready for that. Oops, I picked up my 2-year-old. Whoops, my back hurts. Right? And then the very next day it goes away. You take some ibuprofen, you do something along those lines. Then we have episodic, which would be, it comes and goes, and chronic would be long term. We're talking years. And so for those that we see in the chronic realm, which is primarily what we have at our patients at Hope Chiropractic, who come to us with back pain that is chronic, is a combination of a few things here. As you guys know, our work is primarily neurological and origination. We understand from a scientific perspective that the organizational structure of the top bone in our neck coordinates and controls almost 80% of the entire neurological system of the human body. So if we can figure out how to fix that, we probably can get rid of about 80% of the issues you're dealing with. The other 20% is going to be on your own. And a lot of this is going to come down to commitment and discipline to a few areas of your life. And those areas that are focused on back pain are going to be on mobility, and they're going to be on sleep, as well as your nutrition. So when we look at these in a breakdown area, I really, really want to hone in on the mobility side of things here. Because every single doctor that is a chiropractor is probably proficient enough to give you an adjustment to make you temporarily feel better. We would probably agree with that. 90% of doctors are probably that good. Now, if we were to go into long-term stabilization of your spine, though, we need to look at other areas. And this is what happened to me in my health, is that I came down this avenue, I found chiropractic, it gave me the relief that I was looking for and allowed me to go back to competing in the sport that I loved. I continued to also maintain my lifestyle of heavy lifting and competitive athletics. Now, with that being said, I also had to find a physical therapy regimen that would keep me healthy so I didn't have to continually go back to the chiropractor. Oh, wait. Reverse. Continue to go back to the chiropractor. How many of you all have signed up for that 120 visit care plan? 3 years, we're going to see you 3 times a week, adjust you every single time. Yep, been there myself. It's not too fun, is it? Now, let's think about it this way though. There are 2 people that I highly, highly, highly recommend for you if you are a chronic back pain sufferer. Number 1 is Dr. Kelly Starrett. He is a physical therapist. He became famous from his 365 days of 5-minute YouTube videos. And what his basic premise was is that too many Americans were getting hip replacements. And so he wrote this blog, and it said, "Pony up, America. You don't always need to buy a new hip," which is pretty fascinating to think about, because his job and his goal was to teach you to properly move and mobilize the joints of your body so that you have full range of motion and keep that joint healthy. Now, keeping that in mind, enter in Dr. Kramer, who is super fascinated with the human body, dealing with back pain of his own, and chiropractic stopped working on that casual back adjustment, that I wasn't getting better. And so I had to find another route to improve my health. And this is where I'm going to actually steer you away from Hope Chiropractic Center. I'm going to actually tell you that you need to go to mobilitywod.com, mobilitywod.com, or check him out on YouTube, Dr. Kelly Starrett, and type in low back pain. Believe me, he has a series of about 5 stretches. It's called the Couch Series that will forever change your life. But this comes with a huge asterisk against it. You have to be diligent, and you have to do the stretches. I remember I was listening to a chiropractor one time. He was talking at Rotary, and one of the people in the audience asked him, they go, "Hey, do you ever teach your patients exercises?" And he said, "No." And they said, "Why?" And he goes, "Because they don't do them." So here comes your moment of clarity and your moment of actually ownership, extreme ownership, Jocko there. You have to stretch. And listen, I mean, this isn't that serious of stuff. This is 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. You do these stretches, and the next thing you know, over a period of a month, your back pain is gone. Your mobility is increased. You don't hurt getting out of the bed anymore in the morning. You actually can move through your day, and you can feel like you're healthy and you're contributing to society. If your job requires you to sit for 8 hours a day, then you might have to do this 3 times to 4 times a day, depending upon how much you're dealing with the issues. The second conjuncture into this point of the back pain world, I have recently discovered myself. But it's more unbeknownst to me because I went to this guy because of knee issues. My good buddy over at Procore Fitness, Justin Lewis, said, "Hey, Joey, you need to check out GMB Fitness." That's Gary, Matt, Bruce, GMB. And he's a physical therapist, and I pulled him up, and Justin goes, "Dude, just do his exercises." And I was like, all right. And for me, it took a lot of my ego that I had to put the brakes on because I'm a big weightlifter. I love CrossFit. I love doing things that make me feel the burn that I have to really go to the extreme on. And if you guys know me, that's really how I'm wired, is I'm all or none. And so CrossFit obviously gives you that burn that I'm looking for. And I ended up, this is a long story short, I hurt my knee 6 years ago. I re-aggravated the injury about 6 weeks ago, and I had to stop doing CrossFit. And it's not against CrossFit, I think it's more against me because I never learned the proper movement pattern of performing a basic squat. Something that we all do on a daily basis. We sit down on the toilet, we sit down for breakfast, we sit down at the computer, we sit down for lunch, we get in the car, we sit down. We sit all the time, but learning how to move your body in a way that like my 1.5-year-old daughter sits on the ground to play with toys, you'd be like, man, how do I do that? I think about like the casual Asian man sitting there on the corner smoking a cigarette. And you see it in like India or Japan on films, and they're typically sitting with their butt all the way down to their heels. So this guy, his name is Ryan Hirsch, and he started this GMB Fitness. And from it, I've been learning how to move properly. And as a result, my back has felt unbelievable with what I've done. So these 2 guys, Dr. Kelly Starrett and Ryan Hirsch, and be Dr. Ryan, I believe he's a PT, are the two foundational pillars you need to incorporate into your health if you are suffering from chronic back pain. You guys with sciatic issues, sure, the quick adjustment will probably feel really great. But I'm going to tell you long term, the better route for you is going to be going into Ryan. He's $95 for this GMB Elements course. And then going to Kelly Starrett, that's 5 minutes of your life on YouTube. And those two, and combining them together and putting together a protocol for yourself that allows you to, over time, develop your body into a state of full mobilization so you can actually move through full range of motion, have no more pain in your life, and can move in a very efficient manner. Now, there will be an issue with this that's very interesting, because Ryan had a blog about this earlier on back pain, and it's really funny because so many times people are like, I slipped a disc. Hey doc, guess what, dude? And I'm like, man, have you ever seen a disc? Like, those things to slip are so incredibly difficult. And the point he brings up is that no matter the level of pain you're in, doesn't correlate with the idea of a structural damage to your spine. There are so many studies out there showing how you can come in a 10 out of 10, radiating pain into your sciatic nerve, and you have no herniations of your disc whatsoever. Oftentimes, you can also be somebody who is completely asymptomatic. You have no pain, no suffering, no issues, and you have disc herniations like nobody's business. So keeping that in mind, this is where we have to check our ego and our knowledge from, our good South Lake Moms group about the idea of slipping a disc, is that that doesn't happen all the time. And it doesn't happen the way that we as humans construct the idea of that happening. So in this episode of Hope Speaks, as we focus on low back pain, our 3 recommendations are very, very simple. You need to first assess your spine using Kelly Starrett's protocol. Second, improve your movement capabilities using someone like GMB Fitness that can help you originate full ranges of motion. And 3, I'm going to throw the sleeper in there, you need good sleep. And we can go into a further topic here talking about mattresses, pillows, sleep position. We can talk about nutrition and what the anti-inflammatory protocols are to help you get rid of arthritis along those lines. But the focus for today, and the majority of it, is this: 2 action steps you have this very instant when we sign off this podcast, or this video cast, whatever, on this vlog. You go on Kelly Starrett YouTube, find out his couch stretch. 2, you give GMB Fitness a check. It's called gmb.com/io. and look them up, and then from there you implement a protocol, and in 6 weeks I want you to check back with me. Log back onto YouTube and just let me know if your life has changed. If it hasn't, then we make the call to see if you're a good good fit for chiropractic and massage, because those 2 might come in after you've exhausted your resources on the free side of things, because then we know we have a bigger problem at hand. That's it for this week. Dr. Joey Kramer. I'm over at Hope Chiropractic Center. This is our inaugural, episode series of Hope Speaks. We'll be doing these on a weekly basis again, so if you guys have any information you want covered, please feel free to reach out, because we have a ton of things that we know a lot of information about to help you find answers that don't always originate in the bottom of a pill, in a chiropractic office, in a physical therapy clinic, or with an acupuncturist. Because almost 90% of the time you can probably fix most of these issues yourself. It's when you can't fix them that you need to know who to go to, when to go to them, and how long it's going to take. That's it for this week. If you need to get in touch with us, we are over at hopesouthlake.com. You can call us at 972-638-0994. You can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/hopesouthlake. Or you can find us at any one of these South Lake Chamber events, because believe me, we are well connected. We know a ton of people in this community, and it's our job and our goal to help you stay healthy. I hope you all have an awesome weekend. Stay safe on the 4th of July. We're going to come at you live next week with an episode talking about traumatic brain injuries and PTS as we celebrate the patriotic holiday of our secession from the Brits. You all have a great weekend. We'll touch base.